because they are continuous lines. So that leads to one thing to another, basically. And it's much more freer. I used to be much more grid-like, so my structures at this time. But at the same time, I try to balance it. Each composition is very balanced. That's what, as far as I can see, or structured in a way. So each is a, that's why there are no titles, each is a composition in itself. So you can say they are like, each piece is like a composition.
So when you get
of
compensated,
non sequitur, I call it, which is basically illogical or paradoxical drawings.
so you say it's composed when you start with a line. So how do you get the structure, the composition? Do you kind of have an idea before, or you just start someplace?
I start with one, and then one thing I fill it up, and then I see what is negative and positive, where to fill it up, where I need something. I stare at it, for a while, and slowly I start filling it up. But at the same time, I see the structure remains, quite balanced, and that is my architectural training. I see it and put more things in it wherever is required.
There's a lot more playing around with the positive and negative spaces.
That's right, playing around with that and balancing it until I am happy with the composition. And neatness and balance and things comes out of my architectural training.
Yeah, I noticed you don't have, like last time you were using that Yupa paper and had...
That was entirely a different experience for me, because it was all free. Because the Yupa paper it was not like ink that once you draw, it's fixed.
But I know you were playing around with a lot of textured backgrounds.
That's right.
So do you think that playing around with all that freedom the last time freed you up to come back and have more structure, but without the
That's right, and it freed me up with the line drawings, and I used then my brushwork with diluted ink to give it some depth and texture or three-dimensional effects.
Lots to look at.
And I really enjoy it, it is lots of fun to do that. And I've been doodling so much like this for a long time, so there are so many doodles I have, so I start with some of the good doodles which I like and begin with that, and then leads to another. And a lot of things, sometimes they come back and from the same things, I'll repeat it in the drawings in a different way or different location, similar kind of stuff.
Like musical
and musical instruments and bugs and lizards and faces and fish and whatever works for the drawing.
So do you think your drawing is more musical, like the structure of it? More like
I if you ask me, but I'm not sure about whether it is right or wrong, but for me it's like each piece is like composition and improvised composition.
Because you're big on jazz, right?
Yeah, that is similar to that. So there is a structure to it within which I, improvise.
Those little tiny fine curly hairs here. Super fine little curly hairs.
Yeah, there are some details I add, and sometimes I add because when I'm looking at the drawing, say, look, this is too much of white is remaining over there. So I thought, something is needed over there. So I did that, but as soon as you put it there, suddenly the space becomes smaller and much more appropriate to that scale over there. And some of the lines, you see lizards and things, those are the question of when I'm flowing the line, they break. And so to do some connections, and I can't erase them, but then if you do one connection, it's like, dots, and you have to put more of those insects all over.